Sometimes you hear a story that's just incredible. It's about what happens when a group of people get tired of waiting for help and just decide to build the solution themselves. Well, that's exactly what this is. This is the amazing story of a village called Taj Nagar. Okay, so before we dive in, let me ask you something. Think about your daily commute. Now, how far would you travel just to get to the train station or the bus stop? A mile? 2? Whatever it is, just kind of lock that number in your head for a minute. Well, for the people in this story, this wasn't just some thought experiment. It was their reality, every single day. 6 kilometers. That was their answer. Seriously, just try to wrap your head around that. A 6-kilometer journey every morning and every evening, not as your commute, but just to get to the start of it. It's wild. And we're not talking about a casual trip here and there. This was for the essentials, People had to get to work. Students had to get to school in big nearby cities like Gurgaon, Delhi, and Rewar. These weren't optional trips. This was their livelihood.
So you see the problem, right? They were basically stuck. To get on a train, they had to make that 6-kilometer trek to one of 2 stations, Halamandi or Patli. That was it. No other options on the table.
So, faced with this, what do you think they did? Well, they had a pretty simple, pretty logical idea. And it was a demand they've been making for a long, long time. And this is the really crazy part, the part that would drive you nuts. The railway line, it ran right through their village. I mean, literally. They could watch the trains go by every single day, hear the whistle, feel the rumble, but they had no way to actually get on one. The solution was so close you could touch it, but it was completely out of reach. And this wasn't some new complaint. They've been fighting for this for decades. They first made the official demand for their own station all the way back in 1982. Think about that. This was a long, patient, drawn-out fight. So they make this perfectly reasonable request. What happens next? Well, the official response is really where this story pivots. The railways came back with a very short, very final answer. We do not have funds. And just like that, the request was denied. Now, for most people, for most communities, that would be it, right? End of story. So their demand is shot down. The daily grind continues. What do you do? What do you do when the people in charge just tell you no? But the people of Taj Nagar, they weren't most people. They didn't just accept it. Instead, they got together and made a decision. A truly radical decision that was going to change everything for them. They decided to build the station themselves. Yeah, you heard that right. The railway said no. Fine, they said. We'll do it ourselves. I mean, what an absolutely incredible, bold move. Okay, but a railway station isn't cheap, right? It costs a lot of money. The final figure they needed was 21 lakh rupees. That is a huge amount of money for any village community to come up with. So how'd they do it? They pooled in. This is the key part. There was no big government check, no corporate sponsor. This was money coming straight from the pockets of the villagers themselves. Everyone contributing what they could, all for this one single shared dream. So after all those years of asking, of being told no, of fundraising, we get to the payoff. The final, triumphant part of this amazing story. Just look at this. The demand was first made in 1982. The station finally opens its doors in 2010. That is a 28-year journey. 28 years. That's not just patience. That's a level of determination that is just wow. And then came the day. January 7th, 2010. The dream finally became real. The first train pulled in and stopped at the brand new Taj Nagar railway station. A station built not by the government, but with their own money and their own hard work. And you have to understand, this is so much more than just a building with some tracks. It's a symbol, right? It's a station built by the people for the people. It's its incredible physical monument to the power of community spirit. So when you really think about it, the story of Taj Nagar isn't really about a train station at all. It's about something much bigger. It leaves you wondering, what is actually possible when a group of people, a real community, just refuses to take no for an answer?